Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and today I'm going to be revisiting a guitar that I owned almost a decade ago and giving it a second chance, the Fender Made in Mexico Cabronita. And the first time I had this guitar, I had a few problems with it. When I opened this box to unleash this one, I had those same exact problems. So we're going to start right off on the bench. I'm going to show you what's up and we're going to fix them straight away because I came prepared today. If you enjoy the content on this channel, you could leave some support by hitting the like button. It's free. Also, subscribing. 90% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed. Be one of the cool people. Be one of the 10% that are. I would really appreciate that as well. Affiliate links are also in the link in the description. You can pick yourself up a t-shirt from the Audiomo music store, but I got nothing to push today because this guitar is long since out of production. Let's get the bench out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is a 2013 Made in Mexico version of the Cabronita, and it is a little bit different than the original versions that were made in Mexico. The bridge was actually changed as a part because there was issues with the string spacing, and turns out they actually made the problem worse with the updated part. And one of the reasons why I want to talk about string spacing and why I feel like this is something worth replacing on this guitar to a better unit, there's two things. One of them is going to be really debatable whether or not it's going to make a difference. The other one, you will absolutely notice when you are playing the guitar. I took some still shots of this guitar as is on the bench, and you'll notice once you're at the nut of the instrument, the string spacing is fine as far as the amount of clearance you have on both of the E strings, but as you travel further up the neck, it really starts to get closer to the edges, and this makes for kind of an uneven playing experience. So from purely a playability standpoint, this will make a difference. I've had this problem in the past with other guitars where the bridge string spacing did not match up with the rest of the instrument, and that is what it is. Not a big deal, not a very expensive fix. The other thing is up for debate though, and that is the alignment of the pull pieces with the strings, because since the spacing is wider here than it should be, on the neck pickup it's not as bad, but once you get to the bridge pickup, especially on the outer strings, it's not even remotely covering or on top of rather any of the pull pieces of the pickups themselves. I've seen varying reports of how much of a difference this makes, and in my experience it's not the biggest deal, if any, especially once you start using gain. You're really not going to notice it as much, but I prefer just to have the correct string spacing, and who knows, maybe it might make a little bit of difference, especially with the higher frequencies of the guitar. Now, there were a few other things that were changed on this instrument. I ended up making my own wiring harness from scratch because it really was so simple, and I had the parts lying around. All I needed was a 500K toe pot. I used a CTS for that, CRL switch, and I installed a Switchcraft jack. So the reason why I did this was the very first Cabronita I ever had was a candy apple red Mexican guitar. I plugged it in and I had problems immediately with the switch, and lo and behold, guess what happened when I did the same thing with this guitar? The switch is garbage. So I figured while I was making the switch, I might as well go ahead and make a whole new harness. And this may surprise you, but for the time being, we're going to stick with these Fidelitron pickups and see what they're all about after the improvements to electronics as well as the bridge itself. So now, let's install this bridge, get the strings off, and get going. You are free to disagree with me in the comment section of this video, but it is not even close aesthetically. The 3-barrel brass saddle bridge is so much better looking than the modern style of bridge. It is not even close, and the guitar now looks infinitely classier, and the fact that we're going to have functional upgrades as well, oh, just a cherry on top. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to polish the frets, and I'm going to do most of it off camera because I am out of Gorgamite and I am out of fret knot. We're going to be using Frine, which means I'm actually going to tape up the fingerboard because I do want to protect it. But before I do so, I'm going to measure the neck thickness for everybody here. 0.90 at the first fret. 0.95 at the 12th fret. Fender calls this a modern C. I cannot disagree more. Based on their own definition of modern C, this is definitely a chunkier C. I absolutely love it. Not quite as thick as something like a 52 reissue or an American Original 50s, but definitely substantial in the hands compared to a more modern Fender neck. And now we are all done. I got this guitar intonated, set up just the way I like. It is playing very, very well. I'm very excited to do the sound demonstrations. We're going to be using the Tone King Gremlin. We're going to be using the Benson preamp pedal for any kind of drive, the Strymon Volante for reverb, and a little bit of delay, trying homage to some of those Gretsch style tones. Let's get into it. When I started filming today, I had no intention of making a sound sampler. Sitting here after the fact to talk about this guitar, it would have made more sense from a YouTuber perspective for me to just do all the modifications in one video, and then we'll do the full run through of the guitar and the playthrough after. But let me tell you something. After I installed this bridge, got this guitar set up, I took one strum, and it was like a completely different guitar. It felt so much more alive and like a great Telecaster. And I always really liked the neck. As soon as I got this guitar out of the box, I thought the neck was fantastic. But the original bridge that was on this, despite even the spacing issues, I didn't think it sounded great. I didn't think it sounded bad. It just was a decent bridge. But putting this bridge on it, it immediately brought this guitar to life. And I was like, I gotta play this guitar, and I gotta play this guitar right now. The neck pickup on this instrument can get really muddy, and the bridge pickup on this instrument doesn't exactly hold treble well, even with the upgraded electronics. I don't care. I really don't care. And having just the one knob on this guitar, no tone control, which is for me almost sacrilegious if I'm just speaking my mind here, because I live on the tone control and I'm playing a Telecaster, and even a Les Paul, I mess with it from here and there. I love the simplicity of this. It is just put it at 10 and just go. Have fun. Don't worry about anything else. Enjoy it for what it is. And I'm finding that through the lessons I've had doing YouTube, this is the kind of guitar I'm much more drawn to, as opposed to something that's more complicated, like the Troublemaker Telecaster that sounded great at 90 different things. You can push all these different knobs and pickup configurations, and the PRS, same kind of vibe going on with that, but it didn't have that like rawness to it that I really like about this guitar. Is this guitar that versatile? I would not say so, but is this a great guitar now? This specific one, yes, I absolutely would say so. So I've just had so much fun playing this guitar, and I was really excited to get this in. And when I saw it on the sale during the Labor Day week, I was just like, that price is too good. But I did remember my problems that I had with the past. Unfortunately, as you would have seen, I did address them. The switch was garbage. There's no way of putting it. It needed to be replaced immediately. And then the bridge spacing thing, I wasn't sure how big of a difference it was going to make, but the sound of the bridge alone was worth the price of the admission. But also, when I was moving up and down the neck and playing the guitar, now it plays so much easier. So I can't speak for every Cabronita out there, because they're all going to vary. The neck shape is going to be similar, although the thickness might be a little bit different depending on the one that you get. But this big beefy neck, I love the medium jumbo frets. This thing has super low action. It plays great. It sounds great. I don't have any complaints really whatsoever. I thought I would be a little bit for the wanting, if I'm honest, when it comes to not having a tone control, but I don't really care. I'm very happy indeed. But right now, I actually just want to keep playing this guitar, so I'm going to end the video. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if you hit the like button, if you subscribe to the channel, if you dig what I do on this YouTube thing, and also leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about these guitars. Let me know what you think about simple guitars. If you have one, what kind is it, and what do you love about it? I know a lot of Les Paul Juniors may potentially pop up in the comment section there. Have a great day. Tell somebody in your family or a loved one that you do love them. Play your guitar and get off the internet, get outside, and I'll see you for the next video. Take it easy, everybody.